Now, what was the great change that took place in it? I'm going to send you, follow me carefully, on an internal trip. Through the nostrils we have sinuses, and through the mouth we go into the throat. Now let's stay with the sinuses. We go up further in the throat. There is what we call the Eustachian tube, that is from the throat to the middle ear and the middle ear itself. And going up a little further, the upper lid of the eye and the lower lid of the eye. You got that picture? Let's get back into the throat. Now in the throat, coming down in the center, besides the blood vessels, we have two tubes. One of them is the windpipe, or the trachea, if you like, and follow that right into the lungs. Follow that trachea, or that windpipe, how it makes all these little branches into the lungs. Now let's go back in the throat again. There was another tube, the food tube, better known by the scientists and the histologists as the esophagus. And that goes into the stomach. And at the end of the stomach, there's a little valve there, goes into the small intestines. Now the small intestines has three sections. The first section is the duodenum or the duodenum, whichever way you like, which means 12 inches long. And after that we have the jejunum, which means, see, get to understand what these words mean. Means empty, hungry, starving. Imagine that, all our food going in there, we're starving. And then we have the last section called the ileum, which there was a little valve at the end, and we go into the cecum, and at the bottom of the cecum we have the variform appendix. Now above the cecum we come up on the colon, the ascending colon, and then we have a transverse colon, a descending colon, the sigmoid, the rectum, and the anus. Now, have you followed me? Guess what took place when that heart went there? Now we got a couple other places where I want. From what we call serous membrane, it turned into mucous membrane, mucosis, meaning phlegm, snot, disease producing. Just think of all that up here. From where do we get our phlegm? Don't we get it from the sinuses? Don't we get it from our throat? Don't we get it from our nose? And don't we have inflammatory colitis? It's nothing but phlegm. Now, one more system. And that system is the genitals. the reproductive system in the linings of the penis and of the testicles and in the linings of the vagina and the fallopian tubes and the ovaries, also mucus membrane. Sometimes I wonder how we even say alike when you get to understand all this. Yes. Now, don't try to do anything to change the position of the heart, because that will change by itself. Don't try to do anything to awaken our spinal column. That will do it automatically. But the debris in there, the waste matter in our vertebral column must be removed. And this is why we serve as we do. And this is all a chiropractor has to think about. Nothing else. Innate will do the rest. But as long as our heart stays in the left field, innate can only adjust itself to the situation or the system in which we are living. And this is why we don't live to the very end without dis-ease. Everybody dies with some sort of dis-ease. Oh, I know a man that lived 120. Yeah. Was he running around, or was he sitting down most of the day? Did he have a little Alzheimer? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being perfectly normal, even though we have to leave. But the day comes when we don't have to leave anymore. But if we read that book there, it talks about the first fruit. Now, what is the first fruit? We have a harvest, and a harvest is always followed by winter. But we also have the ingathering. And what is the ingathering? And you find two passages in the book of Exodus or Deuteronomy. I forget which one, but you'll find it. Exodus, I really think it is. And it talks about the ingathering. And when the ingathering comes, after that, it will be the new year. No winter. No winter. And that's the way it was before our heart went in the wrong direction, left direction.